Okay, don't. Maybe I pressed left or something.
So I just realized, even though I want to go to the cafe tomorrow, I can't. Good. Because it's Monday. So oddly enough, the way this works, luckily the rainy season doesn't start until tomorrow. So it would have been really bad luck if I had just gotten rain today. But because you want to trigger all those cutscenes on the same day that you do the moon drop do, you only have one day that you can do the moon drop do optimally, because the other day is a Monday. And the cafe's closed on Monday, so it's actually very inconvenient. It's interesting that it works out that way. Basically, you can only do it on the 14th, and then since you need to go to the cafe at least one more time before finishing the ending. Once you've done Moondrop Dew, you obviously want to do that as soon as possible, but you can't do it the very next day because the very next day is that Monday. So then you have to do it on the Tuesday. So if I was to get rain on this day, then I would be screwed because the next day starts the rainy season. Well, no, I wouldn't be screwed. Okay, I have to remember that. I should still be able to trigger the cutscene. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't need to gift her. So technically... Yeah, technically that'd be fine. Okay, never mind, that'd be fine. Yeah, it is kind of inconvenient. It's actually the case for both the 02, 52. It's actually the case for, so you need to trigger that cutscene, that nighttime cutscene that I just did. You need to trigger it on, you have only 4 days per season that you can trigger it on. And that's the 14th, 15th, 29th, and 30th. And oddly enough, in spring, 2 of those 4 days are Mondays. So the 15th is a Monday. And, hair in my mouth. Ugh. The 15th is a Monday, and the 29th is a Monday. Okay. This is the second failed cake. Unfortunately, the answer to this question is no. She actually loses affection for this, but it doesn't matter. It's faster to say no. No, it just means that for the speed, since I'm doing a speed run, it just means that, I'm limited on the number of rainy days I can accept because I'm trying to, the point of this run is to try and complete this ending as quickly as possible. So she needs 10 gifts, which means I need to meet with her 10 times. So I have to come out here 10 times. So that's 10 separate days. And the calendar starts on the 2nd, which is a Tuesday. And then the only day that I can do that cutscene optimally is the 14th. So that means that I can only afford, and it's closed on Mondays. So one of those days in between in that whole section is a Monday. So that day I don't care about anyway. But other than that, I can only afford, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other than that, I don't care. Or I'm sorry, other than that, I can only accept 2 rainy days. So 2 rainy, it's sort of complicated, but I can only accept 2 rainy non-Mondays. So of days that are not Mondays, only 2 of them can be rainy. Because otherwise, I have to walk further to get to her. Actually, no, because her rainy day location is inside the cafe. So you can't get to her otherwise. Hey, what's up, what's up? I still didn't get it. I just got a suboptimal 7-day rain instead of 8-day rain, and submitted it. I'll reset more. I just wanted to do this one today. And luckily this was actually, I made one mistake in this run. I paused to check the time, even though on the day that I did that, I was not under a time limit to get inside because the day I checked the time was the same day that I would have waited until 9 p.m. for the Moondrop Dew cutscene anyway, so it didn't matter if I wasted time waiting until, because every time you try and open a door and it's locked, you lose time. Because every time you do that and it says the door is locked, the the clock freezes. So if you're trying to wait for the door to open, but the in-game time, you have to wait for the in-game time or in-game clock to reach a certain point. So if I do it early, I want to know exactly when it's opening, but because if I open it late, I've lost time, and if I open it early, the clock freezes, which also loses me time. So I paused it just to check the time, so I knew exactly when I could open the door, and I thought, okay, I'll just take this time loss because I haven't figured out exactly when it opens yet. And normally I base it off of something else. So like normally on most days, she starts walking towards the door at 10 a.m. and every in-game hour is 25 seconds. Basically, this is one of the endings where you only have to gift. Most of the endings you just have to gift one of the villagers. And this one in particular is pretty easy because literally every single cutscene except for one takes place in the cafe. And you do need to befriend Gina as well, but you only need to get her to 10 affection, which means you literally just have to talk to her one time with a gift. Anyway, so yeah, so I made that, so that was one mistake in this run. Other than that, this is basically as good as it gets, so I'm not gonna do another one. But this is just, you know, just kind of demonstrates optimal clean routing. This is pretty well routed. I'm not sure what you could do really to, if you were to improve the routing on any of these, you'd be kind of splitting hairs quite a bit. It's basically about as good as it's gonna get. And whatever time you'd save in optimizing, you could easily lose in silly things like the NPC's positioning. Because in other Harvest Moon games, if an NPC is in one spot, they're usually just standing in that spot. Whereas in this game, when they're in one of their areas, they pace around. So they could be slightly further away from you or slightly closer to you. So you lose a little bit of time like that. Lose or gain a little bit of time like that. But yeah, this game is yeah. So I'll leave Azure Swallow till the end. If I'm gonna reset more for that, it'll probably be after I do the treasure hunt endings. But yeah, so now I've done 7 of the 9 New Game Plus endings. So now I'll route the treasure hunt endings, do those, and then I will do all endings, and then we will be done. There is one more category I could do like at some point in the future, but it's very involved. So. Did I lose myself to 36 with that mistake? Yes. R.I.P. I don't know, I probably only lost myself like, no, actually, no. Wouldn't have gotten it anyway. Yeah, wow, this is, okay. Yeah, this is a really long cutscene. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think 36 is really possible in this category. But this is about as much time as I thought I lost to the other one. Yeah, that seems about right. Nice.